I removed James's initial KO video as a few of you believed it could have been fixed because it truly was so surreal. And for a second, a part of me believed that too. But through further study and getting to know James a little bit better, I believe he was a real human being in this fight, and I can confidently say that the physics of the knockout in this video was real. And I can prove it through clear evidence in the footage, whilst also reinforcing it with many examples. To get a little bit more backstory on the fight, let's go over the message James has given me the permission to read throughout the video. I hope you guys enjoy. Hello! Thanks for your awesome videos, I'm a big fan. It helps me through life and makes me think I'm not crazy, haha. I'm 29 years old. I didn't start training before I was 28. However, I used to play very competitive poker, and I developed a mind where I had to stay calm, always breathe and focus on doing the right move, even when being tens of thousands of dollars behind. I've always been a student of the mind, I've never been physical, and I'm a huge MMA fan. I decided to do something about it. So I went to Thailand with my cousin to train and potentially have a fight. When I got to Thailand and I got to sparring, I started growing confidence. And I realized that people in general, in all aspects of life, even in fighting, they are not unplugged. They're so limited. All day and night in Thailand, if I didn't train, I would watch fight breakdowns and techniques plus dream big. I just wish I would have yelled mind smash from the top of my lungs. Anyways, I'm from Denmark and I'm inspired by Alistair Overeem's documentary. I went to Super Pro Thailand to train. When I got a fight, it was supposed to be versus an amateur Swedish guy. But as I arrived to the stadium, and Super Pro will confirm this, the Swedish guy did not show up. But there was another Thai fighter on the main card who had his guy fall out too. So I told my corner, I can fight him. Michelle from Super Pro. She told me before the fight that I was going to get killed. The whole Super Pro did not believe in me, and I understand them. I would come up with outrageous statements all the time, and now suddenly I took a pro fight. But I just knew I had good chances because my opponent came to do Muay Thai. But I came to win. I did not have fear in my body at all because of my high-stakes poker experience, even though I had zero fight experience in the ring, and my opponent had multiple bare-knuckle Thai fights. Throughout this fight, James was taunting, smiling at his opponents, making him emotional, whilst remaining cool, calm, and collected himself. In this instance, where his opponent recklessly threw a flying elbow, that was clearly an emotional response, probably resulting from James's behavior. It was massively telegraphed. That could have worked, perhaps, say, versus an opponent paralyzed in fear. But versus James, the cool and calm mind of James, It was easily dodged. He's annoyed. He wants to teach James a lesson. This first-time fighter is making a fool of him. The opponent baits low with a kick, winds back, and wants to end James with a winging hook, but James is calm. He sees it coming from a mile away. He steps back and loads up his counter. It lands clean. Beautifully done, James. I can see why a few of you would think such a beautiful and clean KO was fake. But it's now time for this segment where we drop some education. First thing we can note, that is full force coming towards James. His opponent's lead leg dropped into the strike, and he wound back with a massive range of motion, literally dropping his leg into it. And then, as you can clearly note, the first point of contact was the chin. James contacted the chin clean with his fist. You can see it right here, but still, all of that momentum was meaningless. You still think he might have pretended to be hit, despite that. I'm going to give you a test, and tell me how much brain damage it gives you in the comments. Look closely, you can see sweat flying, literally spraying off James's opponent's head. You want to know how much brain damage you'll get swinging your head so fast, literally sweat sprays like an aerosol can into the air. You wouldn't be typing to tell me about it afterwards, I can assure you that. Before I end this segment, for those who still don't believe this is a clean knockout based upon the stiff nature the opponent was rolled over in, I did have a comment saying, look, that guy's leg rolled over so easily when the ref turned him over. Here's the deal, man. There are plenty of examples of people getting knocked out and their muscles aren't limp. Their bodies are instead stiff instead of limp. You can see that here on YouTube if you type in people knocked out stiff. Even Conor McGregor threatening Rafael dos Anjos that he's going to knock him out stiff. This is usually based upon the individual, but there are a few theories as to why this happens. To go over a few of those theories, striking the mandibular nerve. When struck in the mandibular nerve of the jaw, it can of course rotate the skull and cause your brain to collide with the walls of your skull, resulting in too many neurotransmitters going off, overwhelming you into a shutdown. But it's also believed that this cluster of nerves, the mandibular nerve, when compressed, can cause you to either go limp or stiff, depending on the person. The hypoglossal nerve. In pressure point theory, this paralyzing lockout of the body is attributed to the hypoglossal nerve, which is actually 3 different points that are visible right here. When rapidly compressed by the jaw, hitting against it can cause a stiff KO. And lastly, I want to go over the brainstem being stretched. When the skull is rotated too much from, say, a punch, it may stretch where the brainstem connects with the spine. Thus, there may be a slight disconnect between the brain and the body. Thus, it tricks the brain into believing your neck has broken, stiffening up as a defense mechanism to keep you from moving just in case. And, judging by how clean that was to the chin and how visibly this man's neck is rotating, yes, this is a possibility. Even if you don't believe in all of that, just realize this man had, like an aerosol can, sweat spraying off his face from the insane transfer of acceleration into his face. James clearly landed a clean counterpunch to his opponent's jaw. You can see that visibly. A lot weaker punches have done the job, and in a fight culture with a high frequency of combat and hard sparring, concussions overall would increase. Thus, people being prone to more concussions would also increase at the same time. So really, this knockout is not hard to believe at all. And James's opponent isn't a guy from the UFC, which is what a lot of you are used to seeing. But nonetheless, James played it perfectly. He was calm, he was cool, he did not cave just because it was his first fight. He didn't let fear or pressure get to him. But I'm very proud of him, I'm very thankful he sent me this, and he deserves absolute respect. This was a real KO. And sure, maybe his opponent was just bad, or maybe James did an amazing job messing with his opponent. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you did. It's good karma. And until next time, peace.